Hello, everybody, and welcome to Football Manager 2021. So, we are out of beta now. This is the official release, and I've decided to play a slightly different Football Manager game playthrough to, I guess, to how it normally would be on the channel. So, this is the Ballad of Barry Bacon. Who is Barry Bacon? Barry Bacon is an old school football manager. Let's get to the appearance. Actually, he's as you can see, he's kind of approaching 50. He's 5'7", but he tells women he's over 6 foot. 23 stone. He's seen better days. A little bit of a paunch. Quite a flat face too, but he very proud of the fact that he still has his hair on there. Definitely a tracksuit manager. The most important thing about Barry Bacon, though, and is he's an old school manager, and he goes route one, and they're the tactics he plays, and that's what he's going to do. I've played Football Manager for many, many years, and certainly in the last, few years, so maybe 3, 4, 5 years, there's been more of an emphasis on good teams playing this possession football, tiki-taka, etc. And that's kind of what wins you games with those good players. But what I'm intrigued to see is, can a manager like Barry Bacon still exist at the top of European football? Can he take a club to the very top and keep them there playing this, what people would call antiquated football style? So it's a little bit of a role play challenge in a way. I've played Football Manager for many years. Must be close to like 15 years or something now. Maybe even longer. I think I was playing when I was like 13, 14 on Championship Manager. So over 20 years, and I know how to. I don't win every game or anything like that, but I know how to make a team win. And this isn't about whether I can make a team win. This is about whether I can make a team win with a particular style which is not really suited to winning in kind of modern football. With possible exception of maybe Burnley, there aren't many teams in the top flight of football leagues who play a kind of route one style target man football. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if Barry Bacon is out of his depth. I'm also going to kind of role play it. So even though there might be some decisions which I know would be detrimental to the team, Barry Bacon would take that decision because he's an old school manager, graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, used to be a player, hard man player. Now he's a manager, and we're going to see how he does. I'm quite excited to play this actually because I've played so much Football Manager over the time. I like to sometimes do limitations. Sometimes I do a limitation where I'm like, only sign English players, or I think I took over Cardiff once and I could only sign Welsh players, and seeing if I can win with these limitations. But this is probably the first time I've limited myself to a specific tactical style, and not just limiting it in League One where we're going to start, but limiting it to pretty much staying with, we can obviously tweak things, but pretty much staying with the same philosophy, as we hopefully move up the leagues. Maybe we won't, maybe we'll literally fail. Now, I did go for Continental Pro license and international global level. Maybe it's a bit cheaty, I don't know, but he's definitely more of a mental manager. I wanted to give myself a bit of an advantage in this kind of area because we are going to have to definitely what would be the term? We're going to have to give ourselves some advantage because we're going to have a lot of disadvantages. And we're going to start playing. Now, who are we going to play as? Well, there was only one team, I think, who really historically could, match Barry Bacon, and that is AFC Wimbledon. If you don't know much about AFC Wimbledon, I'll give you a brief history of them. Although maybe there's a brief history coming up. Founded in 2002, AFC Wimbledon are a professional English club currently playing in the Sky Bet League One. They narrowly avoided relegation last season. Now, while they were technically founded in 2002, there's some dispute over this because there was a team called Wimbledon way back in, I can't remember exactly when, but Wimbledon were a Premier League team. Very well known for having players like John Fashanu, Laurie Sanchez, Vinnie Jones, of course. John Hartson played for them. They won the FA Cup against Liverpool, back when Liverpool were a great side. And they were really very much like underdogs. They were very much a team that rose up from non-league football, not in a kind of modern day style of outspending opponents, but this kind of philosophy that they had, which was hard football. They were called the Crazy Gang, and they were crazy. They would do anything. We call it the dark arts nowadays, but really it wasn't even that dark then. It was just blatant, really. They would be physical with their opponents. They would really let them know they were in for a battle, and people hated playing Wimbledon, you know. After really being up in the top flight for a long time, once the money started to kind of come in, once the Premier League was founded and clubs started to get a lot more money, Wimbledon really didn't have the money to invest. One of the issues was that they ground shared with Crystal Palace, actually, at the time at Selhurst Park. And so they really didn't have their own home. They weren't a very fashionable club. I remember I used to work for Crystal Palace on match days, and that also meant I worked for Wimbledon on match days. So I would work every weekend for them. And when Wimbledon were in the Premier League, they played a team like Man United, and this was when Man United were the best team in the land. Beckham scoring from the halfway line against Wimbledon was a particular highlight I remember. But 3/4 of the stadium would be Man United fans and 1/4 would be Wimbledon fans. Like, they unfortunately didn't get in the numbers to really keep it going, and eventually it told, and eventually they got relegated. They were purchased by a guy who wanted to take them to Milton Keynes because he felt that where they were they didn't have a great support. And in some ways he was right, but in some ways he was very wrong. I've always felt it was wrong to move a football club. In America, they do it a lot. They move franchises, etc. But I feel like it's more because there's less history. Not wanting to, offend Americans, but because there's less history, then that kind of, I think it suits it a bit more. But when English football clubs have been going for 100 years plus, to move them from the area where they've been playing for 100 years plus is quite bad. Now, I don't think Wimbledon were ever really a 100-year plus club, but my point is that they were moved and it didn't go down well with their fans. They made this Phoenix club, as it were, AFC Wimbledon. I think that's why it has the Phoenix on there. Well, I think that's actually from the previous badge, to be fair, but I think it's quite appropriate. And brought them up, and now, ironically, they play Milton Keynes Dons in League One. So that's the big battle that we have with them. So yeah, we have the squad. We have fully faced squad. Now, I don't have I will add in the face packs and the badges and stuff as they come, but bearing in mind that this game is not out long, they're not quite there yet. But yeah, we'll kind of carry on. So these are our objectives for the season. Do not sign players over the age of 31. Sign players based in England. Sign players from lower levels domestic game. Develop players using the club system. Play direct football. Make the most set pieces. Play attacking football. So already they kind of are suited to Barry Bacon's style. They're not asking him to play ticky-tacky football and he's going to bang it up long. Break even in the transfer market, maximum 2-year contracts for players over 30, work within there. So this season they want to avoid relegation, reach the third round of the FA Cup and the second round of the Carabao Cup. We do want all of this, yes, and then we're going to save it. So I'll obviously be trying to get promotion, but nothing is really going to be guaranteed. We do have some good players. I think, although this is quite a competitive league, if we actually go to League One, some of the teams in here with a lot of history, you look at the likes of Blackpool, Charlton, Crewe, Hull, Ipswich, of course, MK Dons. When does it say they were founded? 2004. So 2004 it happened when the MK Dons were moved. Peterborough, Sunderland, Wigan, some big teams in League One. What is who are odds on? So Hull are favourites to get promoted, second Sunderland. We are 19th favourites, 25-1. Wigan 500-1. That's very interesting. Do they have a points deduction? No. Why are they so out of it? Because I know they are in massive financial trouble in administration, so it's likely they'll have a points deduction, which is why they're 500-1. Where are we in sponsorship income? Okay, not too bad. Hull atop. Some big sides in League One. It's going to be tough to get out of it. Even tougher. My idea is we win the Premier League. That's my idea. We get into we see how we do, but we're going to have to sign. Well, we're going to have to change a lot of things about this club to do that. It's going to be interesting. Right, so create a tactic now. So they're already saying Route 1, Catenaccio, wing play. They're our best options. Route 1. So what is Route 1 football? The aim is to try to play the furthest forward pass available with the intent to penetrate the opposition's penalty area as early as possible. This actually, when you look back through football history, was something that was kind of one of the things that there was this weird kind of time, I think it was kind of around the late 80s, where people kind of worked out that if the less touches you have with the ball, the better, and the less touches to score with, the better. As opposed to nowadays, where possession is what the top teams try to aim for. If you ever are interested in football, there's a lot of really good books on it, but Inverting the Pyramid, I think, is a really fascinating book by a journalist called Jonathan Wilson, and he goes through a lot of the kind of tactical evolutions over the years of football and what it means. And Watford were very highly effective at this kind of Route 1 football. The least touches possible to score a goal. Graham Taylor was a big kind of proponent of this, and people have their opinions on what football should look like, what it should be, and without a doubt, when I used to watch Arsene Wenger's Arsenal at their peak, you would be like, this is incredible football, But the reality of the situation is that you have to have certain players to play that way, and highly technical players to be able to play that way. You needed modern pitches, with the ability to all year round have, really nice surfaces to be able to play that way. There's lots of, it's not the only way to play football is kind of what I'm getting at. There are other ways, and sometimes a big long ball at the top works. So the idea is we play cautiously, extremely direct passing, hit early crosses, play for set pieces, be more disciplined, high tempo. We're narrow, we frequently time waste, take long kicks, distribute, counter, regroup, get stuck in. It sounds like it's our kind of thing. Question is, what do we want to play? Do we want to play with wingers and a target man? Do we want to play 4-4-1-1? Do we want to play the 4-3-3? Which I quite like the idea of a 4-3-3. 4-4-2. Kind of like the idea of a big and little guy up top as well. So let's have a look at what we do with this. I don't know too much about AFC Wimbledon's team. We'll click selection advice for now. Use that selected squad. So we'll have a look. Now I know that this guy, Ollie Palmer, is really, he's the guy I want to have as my target man. 6'5", 14 stone, great strength and jumping, great heading, really good aggression, work rate. Unfortunately, he's out for 6 weeks to 3 months, so that sucks. Target man we have at the minute is a guy called Joe Pigott. He is 6'4", but his heading isn't quite as good. He hasn't got a lot of pace. He'll do, I think, for now. But and he is one of our best players still. And then we've got 19-year-old Ryan Longman, who we really probably want to look for somebody else in this position, I think. Potentially very good, but he's on loan from Brighton, so I'd rather use our own striker and build him up, but he'll do for now. Now on the wing, we've got Shane McLaughlin. We want people who are able to... Now he's actually a ball-winning midfielder more so he's playing slightly out of position in that one, so we might need to look at that. Jacko Oscarson on loan from Brentford, deep line playmaker. Riley here, box-to-box midfielder. I wonder if at the minute we would be worth going for that 4-3-3 with... Because Longman's more of a wide player. Actually, no, he is more of a pressing forward, to be fair. We might stick with this for now. Who have we got on the other side? Oseo, young, very quick, and he's mine. So I like the idea of using him. Played a bit last season. Let's look at our team report and squad depth, see where we need to. See, Ollie Palmer and Joe Pigott, I think, is good up front. I think that's a good partnership up there. Although there's no pace, is there? So we might want to look for some pace up top. On the right, they're saying McLaughlin is the best, but the reality, I think, is that we might need to look for a right midfielder. Central midfield looks absolutely stacked to me. Left midfield, again, we're playing Oseo, it's not ideal. We've got on loan Steve Sneddon, decent, yep, like him. In the back, we've got Hennigan, looks very good. At this level, you don't need a lot of pace as a centre-back. And then Terrell Thomas, again, looks pretty good. He's got the bit more pace about him, I guess, so that's kind of good. And we could also play Hennigan on the right, but actually likely to be Luke O'Neill. Not a lot of pace. Good defensively, though. And then goal, we got on loan Chris Truman. Not a great goalkeeper there. Something which will be quite important, I think, is distribution of the goalkeeper. So that'd be something we might look at a goalkeeper as well. Pretty sure we haven't got any money, though. Let's have a look. 50 grand. Okay, actually we do have a little bit. And we got about 2 grand in there. So we've got some money. We're going to accept this current vision. That's fine. So realistically, what I'm looking for on the transfer market from there, I think, is a right midfielder, a pacey striker, and possibly a goalkeeper. Probably don't have a lot of scouts, do we? Who's this guy? What does he play? Something I don't do often enough is offer free transfers trials to check them out. Something I should do a lot more. We're probably going to have to rely on some loans, for sure. That's how you get out of the lower leagues. You know, you loan young players right up until you get to Premier League, and even sometimes in the Premier League you loan them as well. Let's see who is listed for loan. Let's see if there's anybody who really speaks out to us. Mistake. Did you? Oh, you need to kind of click that, I guess. Hedden Mingy. Very pacey centre back. Good passing as well. Huh, that's interesting. Trying to think of what we really need. Harvey White. Not looking bad at all. I don't think we need a central midfielder though. We said we really need someone who can play there. Maurizio Pochettino. So this is Maurizio Pochettino's son, if you didn't know. I mean, he's an option, isn't he? Dillian Maclay. Again, an option. This lad can play both sides, which is quite intriguing to me. Kind of need to scout him a little bit. Reda Kadra, who came from Borussia Dortmund. Interesting. Who else have we got? Don't really know anybody else, so we're just kind of looking. We'll scout, this guy. To be fair, he's only 350 quid a week actually, so we could probably afford it even if we had to pay the wages. Usually the Premier League teams don't make you pay the wages, but the Championship do want you to. Who have we got up front? Have we got anyone really pacey? Danilundu. Ooh, okay. Heading's good too, actually, funny enough. He's 5'11". Bet he tells his friends he's 6 foot. Sam Greenwood. I guess he's quite versatile. I'll scout him. Rodale Richard, that's a cool name. He's a finisher by the looks of it, and he's pacey, so I'm intrigued by him now. Hasn't played Spurs. Could be the next Michael Owen. Okay. Yeah. I like this guy. Good technique, great work rate. Finishing is going to be good, very pacey. How much do they want from 350 quid a week? Boom. We'll take him. Okay. So that's out of the way with. Should I make an offer? So this guy interests me, but I would like to scout these because I think there's some interesting options there. I don't want to take the wrong one. Goalkeeper wise, do they have anybody that interesting here? I might better find someone on free for the goalkeeper because I would prefer someone a bit older. I also want distribution wise, long throws, kicking. Where's kicking? There we go. Right. I don't need long throws actually. That's the wrong one there. Luke Ashby Hammond. He's at Fulham. Okay. Let's okay, literally still the only person available. Okay, we might have lowered it a little bit. We've got a few on a free here. Ben Alnwick, yes, I know of him. Yeah, he used to be at Bolton. Started off Sunderland, then went to Tottenham. Never quite worked out for him, did it, in his career? Yeah, it looked like for the first, nearly 10 years, he barely played. Then he did start to play properly for Peterborough. Then he went to Bolton and played for them. Okay, interesting. We'll scout him anyway. Actually, again, let's offer him a trial. A couple of weeks. That's what I need to get more into the habit of doing. No for Joe Anion. Fabian Spice. I was playing for Nantwich, started off at Notts County. Probably not very good. Davis, okay. And then anybody else of interest? Carlo Ziegler. We'll scout him, interesting. Chelsea have so many good players. It's ridiculous. Okay, Cheltenham are interested in this guy, Nathan Bishop. We'll keep an eye out for him. Got a 6'4" Icelandic 18-year-old at Reading under 23s. Could be interesting. But yeah, that's kind of there. So what I also think is important is you have more than one tactic. So I'm interested in the Catenaccio is interesting. That's for if we play against some really big sides. Try and keep it tight across the back. Maybe wing play if we want to be a bit more expansive. So we could go almost like 4-2-4 if we really wanted to attack. I'd be okay with that. We could make some adjustments to that. And then maybe we'll go for Catenaccio as well, just for if we play against a proper proper team, Could be interesting. Doesn't hurt to have different tactics, I don't think. It does take you longer to obviously familiarise yourself with them and your players with them, but I'm a big believer in it. I used to be a big believer in just keeping one tactic. But especially if you have quite versatile players, the ability to switch tactics midway through a match without actually making substitutions is invaluable. And really, I mean, it's a bit more high-level stuff, I think. Oh, Felix Nemecha. Interesting. Yeah, I thought he'd have a few people. Major interest. We probably wouldn't be able to get him. Would be too low. I think Sepp Vandenberg. He's a player I really like. Always liked him. Who's going for him? We could go in for him. Major interest. I don't think we'd beat off like Aberdeen or anyone like that, but you never know. No, Kirby. I like him. He's a good midfielder. Don't really need midfield though, so I feel like we strengthen the positions we do need, and then if we see somebody who we're like, oh, they're interesting, then we go in for them as well. I think. How many loan players are we allowed? So yeah, there's a salary cap as well, but we're so far below it, we really don't need to worry about it at the minute. Right, staff responsibilities. I'm going to get them to do my training, but I will look at it and I'll get them to also do my. We probably need staff. We need coaches, but realistically, I want to focus on getting players in, then seeing how much money we've got left over for staff after that. But yeah, we'll see how we do here. What's our schedule like? Who have we got? We've got. Are they Welsh team? Yeah, Welsh team called Sewer. We got Bognor Regis, Ebbsfleet, Cambridge, and then Watford in the FA Cup, all away. Then for some weird reason we play Liverpool under 23s twice in one day. Don't know why that is coming up twice, but there you go. And then we kick off against Northampton, Plymouth, Fleetwood, Accrington, Swindon, Shrewsbury, Hull, and Blackpool. I don't know who the hard games are in League One, to be honest with you. We'll find out. Esther Guinness Walker. He's decent enough, isn't he? Decent left back. He's going to be a good backup. If we play the other tactics, so say we play like this, these guys, I think we're okay like this. We do have an issue there, but we could sort that out with some changes. And then if we play this style, we have a problem with left wing back. Because he's defensive, we would actually probably have to put him as support. Same with him. There we go. But otherwise, actually, that one works out quite well. That's a Catenaccio. Maybe we should play 5 at the back. Bang it up long from there in a kind of a Route 1 style. We seem to be a bit more suited to this in terms of the players we've got. Just wondering, if we look at our team report and our squad depth, if we play this style, Bigger Palmer, obviously they're the same. We've got good players who can play defensive midfield role. Wing backs, we're fine. Right wing backs, we're actually fine. And then central defenders, we seem to have a few of. So maybe instead of playing 4-4-2, we actually play more of a Route 1. Oh, actually, I don't know if maybe the wing play. I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. Bear with me on this one. 5-3-2, wing play. We play with our wing backs basically being kind of like attackers. We play nice and direct, focus stuff down the wings, much higher tempo as well. Play wide kind of formations. We get it down the wings and we cross it in, basically. We play this guy down here for a bit of solidity. He's the playmaker. So he's the guy splashing out there. These guys are focused on defending. We've got a box to box here, Riley. Realistically, we probably want him as a Metzala. There we go. This guy is a ball winner, I think. Might not be the best ball winner in the squad. McLaughlin at right wing back is. O'Reilly is there already. We'll work that out anyway. Then we have our target man up top. And then we have. We're not really pressing, are we? No, we're not doing a counter press. Do we want to do that? We're distributing it to the flanks and we're counter-attacking. Maybe we do want to counter press. Goalkeeper, distribute it quickly. Take it. We'll have a look at what the goalkeeper can do first before we do that. We have standard defensive line. Get stuck in. Focusing the play down the left and right side. Okay. We could work with this, I think. And then we can always switch to a Catenaccio then. Yeah, okay. I'm working with this. Maybe we need to delete this. There we go. For some weird reason, it's mucked up all my thing. I think Woodyard's up there. There we go. I think that was similar to what it was. I don't think Nightingale's the choice there. Who's the best guy there? McLaughlin. But he's our best right wing back. So maybe actually when we're scouting, we need to look at a right wing back. Have we got anybody on a free who happens to be incredibly good and cheap? Wow. Now that is versatility. Where do you want me to play, boss? Just anywhere on the sides. We definitely need crossing. Like that's going to be an important part of what they do. I think 15's a lot, but we'll see. Okay, this kid looks pretty good. He's going to have weak stats in a lot of areas, but he can cross. His work rate is good. He's Spanish as well. Ipswich. Okay. Conor McLaughlin. Yeah. Teddy Howe. Oh, he's pretty good. Don't know if they wouldn't offer him out for loan, I don't think. 150k is obviously way out of our ballpark. Haji Noga. I'm going to assume that M is silent there. Okay. Yeah, wingbacks are quite difficult to find. This is the one issue you can sometimes have, is if you don't necessarily have them straight away, you can struggle a little bit with them. Donald Love, he's ex-Sunderland, isn't he? Yeah, ex-Man United as well. Jimmy Keoane. We got a free transfer guy here. Actually, not terrible. We'll offer him a trial. Who is trying to sign him? Bradford, Exeter, Oldham, Tranmere. So actually, some clubs in and around us. He might not be terrible, although I'm not convinced he's got particularly good stats there. We do definitely want to have a look at the lower leagues and see who we can find there. But this guy might be good as well. I like his crossing, his determination. His physical stats look like they could be excellent. So quite interested in him. Who else have we got down here? He's Brown. We don't know about his crossing. Reece Tyler. James Clark. No. Like if somebody was really good on everything else and their crossing wasn't great, I can work with that. But most of these players are not really good. Oh, this guy's had an interesting career, hasn't he? Yeah. Okay. Kind of leave it at that. If we look at our squad depth, we've got this guy. I think will be a really good backup as a backup wing back to Snedden. He'll be a really good wing back. His crossings 12, which is good enough for League One. Central defence, I think we're absolutely fine with. Goalkeeper, we might want to look at there. I worry about maybe a bit of creativity in midfield, but then I'm thinking we're getting out on the wings. That's where we want to do our creativity. So really, that's our kind of most important position. And we already have got some on loan, and then this guy, I think, could do really well for us up front. So I'm intrigued by him as well. Okay, it's looking good so far. So we've assigned responsibilities for things. Hot prospect. Okay, oh, he's actually pretty decent actually for a youngster. Yeah, he should get some game time. We seem to have. Here's the thing I always say to people when they start Football Manager is, especially if you're playing a team where, or even if you're not sometimes, but especially if you're playing a team where you have little money to spend, look at where your best players are and try to get them, like build the formation around your squad. Don't be like, okay, I want to play tiki-taka football with 4 at the back if you haven't got the players to do that, because you can't afford to buy the players in. You don't want to make that many signings anyway. And it's ridiculous. So I always feel like if you don't have a very good squad, best option, in my opinion, to play is 5 at the back, because defenders are much cheaper than strikers or wingers. So you might be like, well, I want to play with 2 wingers and a striker up top, but my guys are rubbish, so I need to buy those 3 players. Well, you don't have the money to buy those 3 players, probably. Or those 3 players are super expensive. Like even if you're Man United, who I think have the highest transfer budget in the game when they start at like 60 million or something like that, you can't afford to replace those 3 positions. Now, admittedly, at Man United, you don't need to. But my point is, well, you do need to in a way. My point is, if you had to buy 3 defenders, you could do that for 60 million and have change. So it's sometimes quite good, I think, to kind of, mix it up a little bit and start with 5 at the back. And then as you can afford players, you can build into that kind of area. Now, some of him as on a transfer, 25, it's worth 40k. They're not that interested. I would sell him in a heartbeat. Oh, let's have a look at our dev centre and see if we've got any youngsters who we want to kind of bring in. We've got this guy as a young right wing back, so potential backup there. This guy needs to go out on loan because realistically he's not going to get any football with us. Okay. Jack Madeline, very high potential right back, but can also play centre back. Just as capable. I'll keep him in the under 23s, but I like his style. Young goalkeeper Matthew Cox. He's a potential, but probably won't be using him. And really, there's not a lot else there, is there? So these guys are very good, though. Could become one of the club's best player and potentially a lot better than Ryan Longman. Yeah, he potentially could be incredible for the club. But I mean, at one point we might switch to play with wingers. He's only 18, so if we farm him out alone for 2 years and then he gets really good, we could be okay, couldn't we? Right, let's get these guys on loan. Check them out. Okay, so he's actually not terrible. Central midfielder, deep line playmaker. Moore, he's not terrible, but I'd really sign him as a backup, I think. Alnwick, quite interested in him as a potential goalkeeper for us. Okay. I don't need to register my players right now. We're so far away from the start of the season. It's fine. Yep, that's fine. Code of conduct I don't really have any interest in right now. Barry Bacon will be a bit of a disciplinarian, but we'll come to that really. Okay, so what's our team report? So work rate's high, determination's high, good player partnership with Nightingale and Luke O'Neill. Youth prospects, we've got some good ones. Marks well, anticipation, decisions, composure. Goalkeeper, Ben Ulrich is the best goalkeeper we've got apparently, so we might well sign him. Right, wing back. Yeah, so we've got wing back depth, it's good. Ornick's a fairly good option in goal. Hennigan's superb option in centre back. McLaughlin's very good at right wing back. Okay, so maybe we don't need to sign someone to replace him. Okay, and what are they saying we're bad at? The squad isn't especially good at shooting from distance. Okay, fine. Not a lot in the overall depth. Okay, crossing. Yeah, that could be a problem because that's what we want to do a lot of. That's something which Wimbledon back in the day were very famous for doing, is crossing the ball into the box and heading it in. Dribbling isn't good. That's fine. We won't be dribbling too much. Good heading. That's an issue. Vision, flair, corners. Oof. Okay. Basically everything. Torquay. Okay. I want to pay some of his wages and he's a pawn player. Torquay, got yourself a deal. Okay. Introducing ourselves to the squad. This is where Barry Bacon comes into his own, I think. Welcome. I hope as a team we can go on to achieve great things under you. What's he going to say? He's going to say, I'll be looking at strengthening the attacking situation. He would probably wave at his hands. So I'll be making improvements in goal. If anyone's interested in coaching course, that's it for now. Okay. Tangible. So he's going to say, yeah, he's going to say that. Your target will do well to stay up, and you know it. Oi, Paul. Kick a chair. Disagree with this interview. I think we can achieve what I said if everyone performed their best. Offended, insulted. Exactly the sort of reaction I was after. I'm really pleased those of you who do agree with me. Still don't think it's set an achievable target. Good to count ourselves in the FA Cup. Yeah, you like that one, don't you? Pump our fists. That is exactly the sort of reaction I'm after. Finalise the code of conduct. Pumping the fist. That's a great response. In codes. Barry Bacon doing the job. Some guys' morale went down, but I just think they're haters. So, you know. Yeah. Oh, it actually went up. It's very good now. Sweet. Yeah. We'll let him out on loan. Torquay. Hopefully we can tear up Torquay's division, whichever one that is. I don't even know. I didn't even look. Yeah, training facilities aren't great, are they? So this is the tactic we actually want to be familiar with first. Manage tactics. Okay. I want this to be the first tactic, though. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Continue. Okay, we've got a press conference as well. Barry Bacon. Good, important thing to know about Barry Bacon. He hates the press. Let's kick off with him. First of all, Barry, how do you feel Saturday's new? I don't wish to discuss this. Yep, we're happy. He signed today as a new AFC Wimbledon. As a big fan of the club. Surely. Yep, that's absolutely him. No time for reminiscing. Give you enjoyed your playing career at the top of the game. Has it come as a shock that you chosen to begin your manager career at AFC Wimbledon? What are the reasons behind your decision? That's something none of us will know until we play. I don't really care where it was. I was just deputy county manager, to be honest with you. I like that one. We're to believe you're quite heavily focused on the fitness side of the game. I intend to build a physically dominant team capable of answering any questions asked of it. What can we do with this? I think smile warmly, but in a slightly sinister-looking way. Does the AFC Women's squad have enough quality, in your opinion? Shake head. I don't know the answer to that question yet. Continue to the summary. I think the press conference was fine. Good. Right, so we're going to first team versus under 23s, and I'm going to manage the first team. Okay, let's play. Let's play Football Manager. The lads warming up, doing a few shuttle runs. Match preview. Okay. Let's pump those fists. We should be winning this one fairly comfortably, lads. Get out there. Start kicking them. We want to build the most physically dominant side, basically, you've ever seen. Once we get a bit more money, we will be looking at players who can do that. So, aggression, work rate, stamina, strength will be hugely important in what we're doing. Right now in League One, our aim is to get out of League One. We can't afford that, but we will, it will be something which we will focus on doing. We might also have the dirtiest team in existence as well, but, I want to have a team that is feared, not necessarily feared because of the football they play, but a team that nobody wants to go and play against. Longman should do better there. Should also do better there. I've got to do some corner tactics as well, and yeah, we are pretty shit at corners, to be fair. That's it, Thomas. Kick him. I think it's time for a shout. That shout will be fire up the entire team. Focus of... it's difficult to see what the focus of attacks are. I assume we're the one on the left there, on the visualizer. Seem to be splitting it down the wings. Oh, okay, do it. Bring on Moore for his debut. Oh, I didn't play Ornwick actually. I haven't even got him on the bench. Whoops. That's Stake. Oh, he's injured as well. Unbelievably, 2 right wing backs injured. Luke O'Neill. Luke O'Neill used to play for Sunderland, right? I seem to remember him. I had a good save with Sunderland in the last Football Manager. I swear he used to play for Sunderland. He rings a bell anyway. I had 2 really good saves actually with Football Manager 2020. One was Sunderland, which I enjoyed quite a lot, and one was Bolton as well, which I also enjoyed quite a lot. So it's 0-0 half time. We've had 13 shots from target. They haven't had a single shot. We've had more possession. We've had more corners. Our XG is nearly at 1. Theirs is at 0. There's going to be a lot of throwing of water bottles here. We're probably going to have to put aside about 10 grand this season just for replacement water bottles, I think. And there's Longman. See? And why the hell are these lights here? Oh dear. I guess it's kind of realistic in a way. That's a good, well-worked goal, I think. Happy with that. Don't need to take anybody off. Not right now, I don't think. Not a good... Ideally, we want to, I guess, distribute to a target man up front. And then for him to kind of knock it on to the pacey striker. maybe we'll look at that. Can we tell him where to distribute to? Is that more in our tactics? No. I think it's in here, isn't it? Ah. Yeah. No, distribute to target man. That's what we want. I know we're trying to obviously get it down the wings and stuff, but I do think if we've got the target man, that's where we need to head. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Right. Let's bring him on for Snedden. Who else is a bit knackered? Nightingale for Martigan. That's fine. Why are we playing? Oh, we were playing them out of position. Look at that. Didn't even realise. Okay. That's a great start, isn't it? Just playing a player completely out of position. If we do have somebody who can play football in the centre defence, though, I might get the goalkeeper distributor short and then get him to hit it upfield. That's not a terrible tactic. Remember, we want to play direct, basically route one. None of this, we don't want possession. We have possession in this game, but that's because we're playing against our under 23s. But realistically, oh, that's a cracker of a goal. Why can't we do that? I mean, they are. It's worth pointing out they're playing in the same formation as us, so and that was their first shot on target. Yeah, I'm not convinced by the goalkeeper at all. So I think we might have to sign Ornwick. Okay, it's all over. I think he'd be pointing a finger. Wasn't good enough. That motivated him. It's 2-3 days, 3 weeks. That sucks, but it doesn't mean we won't be signing him. Oh, he looks all right. Where did he come from? Fulham. There's bids in for him. Barnsley, Blackburn, Dundee. So he's actually pretty good. How much is he? Well, I don't think we're going to get him, are we? yeah. Walk away. Too many things there. Who's interested in this guy? Not very good teams, so we'll not go there. I don't think. Roman Yappy. See about him. Just having a look, see if there's any goalkeepers that we can look at before signing. Ornwick. I don't think there really is. I think we're best off with Ornwick. First choice goalkeeper. We're going to point you as vice captain. Idiot. 500 quid a week he wants. We give you 450 for 2 years. There you go. He won't get a work permit, so terminate his trial. And he's the guy who's wanted. Okay, don't care about Bradley Cross there. We're going to finish up there. What I'll probably do is go through and play through some of the friendlies, tweak things a little bit, see how we go, and then we'll get into the meat of things next episode, into the season, and see how things goes. But till then, guys, thanks for watching. That was the first episode of the Ballad of Barry Bacon. See you soon.